Morning. Today we are correcting CO41. So we did some of this together, putting those fractions in for our variables. We needed to remember the rules of adding and subtracting fractions. So the first thing we did was we put our value in for the variable. Then we did the math, making sure we found common denominators, which means whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top to get those common denominators. Then we only add or subtract the numerator, the denominator stays the same. And our final step is to simplify, simplify, simplify. So making sure that our final answer was simplified. So on our top row, we have a half, 1 3/4, or I said you could leave it as an improper fraction as 7/4. We have 3/4, and we have 1. Any questions on the top row? Madison.
I was going to ask how you got 1 through 4, but I got 1 and 6A, so I just did it.
Yes. So always making sure that fractions are simplified. On the test next week, it will be wrong if you do not simplify your fractions. Always make sure fractions are simplest form. Next row, we have 5/8, 13/10 or 1 3/10, 7/20, and 9/20. Any questions on that row? Madison.
How did you get 7/20? I got 3/5.
So, did you have 12/20 minus 5/20?
Oh, I didn't.
Or sorry, did you have 12/20 minus 1/4?
Yes.
Okay, so we started with the right one. Then we had to go from 4 to 20. What do we multiply by when we go from 4 to 20?
By 6.
That does not give us 20. 4 times 5 gives us 20.
I was thinking 5 and I wrote 6.
Yep. And so that's one of those things where it's those simple math facts. You understand the concept of what to do, but I am letting us use our calculators. So you can use that calculator. You can use your assignment notebook page to be checking those math facts. Amanda.
So D plus B, I got 1 and 6/20.
You did not simplify. 6/20, it would be 1 6/20. We have to divide that by a 2. That's how I got 3/10. So 6/20, you just didn't go down low enough. Any other questions? These are really good to ask those little questions so when it comes time for the test next week, we remember to check that we're multiplying correctly. We remember to check that we have simplified. Okay, because those are things that will get it wrong on the test. The last row, we have 39/40, 43/40 or 1 3/40, 53/40 or 1 13/40, and we have 37/40. Claire. Which one are you at? First, second, third, or fourth? The third one? So, did you have 1/4 plus 3/8 plus 7/10? Okay. Did you turn that into 10/40, 15/40, 28/40, or did you go up to the 80s?
I went up to the 80s.
Okay, so then that would be 20/80 plus 30/80 plus 56/80. So then 20 plus 30 is 50, so 106/80. So what did you divide up?
2.
Okay, so 106 divided by 2 gives me 53. 80 divided by 2 gives me 40. Whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. That do-do rule. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Any other questions? All right. And then when I was walking around, I had some people who were struggling with these bottom ones. Some people forgot to do them. Some people were confused as to how to do them. Remember when I said we will have questions like this on the test? We need to understand. So, actually, I'm going to show the work a little bit because this is what I did. I said, oh, I need to use the fraction variables that were up above. And I need to make sure my answer is between 1/2 and 1. So you know what I did? I looked at the work that I did earlier and said, let me find an answer that's between 1/2 and 1. I saw 5/8. Well, that's between 1/2 and 1. And that was A plus B. I just reduced it. On the test, if there is problems like that and they want you to meet, you can reuse. I'm okay with that because you understand that those are going to get you the answer. Are there any ones that anybody wants to check to see if they would work? Jimena?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. For the bottom one, using values for A, B, C, and D above, write an evaluated expression with a solution between 1 and 2. So again, I looked up there and I looked for one of my ones that had, C plus D gave me an answer of 1 3/10. So I used C plus C. Okay, I'm not going to mark it wrong if you're being smart and using problems that were already on the test. Claire?
So the one thing I was confused about, when it says, A, B, C, or D, I don't know if it was just like,
It just says write an expression. So you could have used more than 2, but you have to have at least 2 to be an expression. It didn't say you had to use at least 3 variables or at least 4. So you could have used any number of them, 2, 3, or 4. But you couldn't just do 1 because that's not an expression. Come in.
Actually, I do have a question.
Yes.
So 7/10 minus 12/20. So
Which one are you going for? Between 1/2 and 1 or between 1 and 2?
between the 1 and 1 and 1/2 and 1.
Half and 1. Okay, so which variables did you have?
C minus D, so 7/10 minus 12/20.
So then that would be 14/20 minus 12/20, which gets me 2/20, which is 1/10. 1/10 is smaller than 1/2. So that would not work because it's going too low. We want the answer to be bigger than 1/2. Do you see why that wouldn't work?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions to know if our expressions were working? We will have to do this on the test. You might not have ones that you can reuse from the work that you've already done because there's only 4 questions on the test. So you're not going to have all these ones to choose from like we did on the homework. So you need to be able to work it through and make sure that your answers are correct. All right, if you're watching this at home, I hope you're well. Hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.